All right, so summer is here and it's game time, baby. Hey, this is the time where many of you who just started in solar, you don't know it yet, but you're about to change your life and your family's life forever. I know this to be true because that's what solar did for me back in 2018. And today I want to talk to you guys about the movement. See, it doesn't matter what company or team you're on, everyone in solar ultimately is in some movement together. Some of us are just in different uniforms. And here at Rebus, man, our focus is we're leading the clean energy independence revolution, right? Revolutionizing the home improvement sales industry as a whole. We're very much focused on providing as many American families as possible with the freedom of choice, with the freedom of control over their finances. We're providing families with an opportunity to protect their homes and their children from blackouts, right? But what problem are we facing and how are we actually protecting these families? And to really grasp what we're dealing with, we need to take a step back to see just how far we've come. See, in the 1600s was around the time of the birth of the information age. And technology-wise, a mainframe from just one computer would take up space of an entire living room. And today, we have more computing power in the palm of our hand than what we did when we allegedly put a man back on the moon. So when we look at the last 60 years, we've gone from centralized to decentralized computing. But what's happened with energy? 35 years ago, a coal-burning fire plant that wastes 1.2 million gallons of water per plant. 50% of the energy created is actually wasted at the centralized power plant. Today, almost 70% of the total cost of energy that we pay for is just poles and wires to get it to the house. Guys, it has not changed in 40 years. This is the second largest industry in the planet. Everyone needs energy, and unfortunately, without it, it could be the difference between life and death. Last year, 72 people lost their lives in the winter in Texas when that 130-year-old utility infrastructure failed. People lost their lives last summer when we had temperatures well over 100 degrees. We had air conditionings failing because we didn't have working power. Guys, Dallas, Texas is the fastest growing city in America. 189 people a day move to DFW, and we're adding more and more pressure on this outdated infrastructure every day. Great leaders, great companies solve great big problems. And there's 3 billion people worldwide that don't have access to electricity. There's 4 billion people that don't have access to internet. How are they going to be able to learn and compete if they don't have access to what for us are just basic necessities? Since the year 2000, 50 million children worldwide under the age of 5 have died because of lack of food, water, or medicine. Off the planet, someone's child gone because people lack access. People are dying every single day for things that you and I take for granted. So donating portions of every single solar project to build solar power water farms in third world countries is a big deal, man. You got to get focused this summer. You got to get locked in. You got to know that every step you take, every door you knock, and every family you serve makes a difference that rings so much further than your commission. It's bigger than just you. You don't think the country needs our movement? You don't think the world could benefit from our movement right now? It's so much bigger than us. Right now, the world needs more than anything else hope. The world needs our message. The world needs our products and solutions to the biggest problem on the planet. This is a big deal, guys. It's worthy of your commitment. It's worthy of your focus. It's worthy of you sticking it out. This opportunity is worthy of your best. And your best is more than enough to create change, not just locally, not just nationally, but change on the planet, period. But listen to me, guys. You got to be prepared to fight. Don't just get involved. Don't be another body on the team. Fight. You'll know whether what you believe in, what we believe in, if you're willing to fight for it. To fight for families, to fight for people, to fight for communities, to fight for children. You can impact not just your family, but the planet if you're willing to fight for it. And I don't know about you. I don't know where that man is or what he's doing, but I'm not waiting for Sleepy Joe or the establishment to get anything fixed, right? I'm going to fight for my family. I'm going to fight for my community. I'm going to fight for this movement. And I'm in it because I can fight for as many of others as possible because I'm absolutely capable and so are you. But can I be really direct with you guys? Here's the truth. Most of you aren't willing to fight for it. A lot of you talk a big game when you feel good, but when that fatigue sets in and life starts to get rocky outside of work, when you get that surprise bill, when your money's low, when you're in your head about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, you fold, you slow down, you make excuses, you quit. Every man, every woman says they're willing to fight for their family, their futures, etc., right? But when the time actually comes to fight, to stick for it, which for us is sticking to a routine, being disciplined, knocking the door when you don't feel like knocking that door, dialing the phones when you don't really feel like it. We rationalize, we overthink, right? We rationalize that voice in our head that makes us want to be lazy. It's normal to want to pause. It's normal to want to take a break. It's normal to want to quit. Just don't. Make sure you're surrounded in an environment and in a movement that keeps you fired up, on track for your goals every single day. You're more than capable. You're more than enough. Doesn't matter what you've done up until this moment, your best is yet to come. Make sure you're on board with the right movement. Now, I can't speak for any other solar company out there, but what we are is we're a mass movement disguised as a business opportunity. Man, it's us against the establishment. And what's the establishment tell us? If you're born on the wrong side of the town, you don't have a shot. If you come from a family with no money, you're not going to make it. Well, what do we say? It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And if you get in the right field, you can change your life in generations to come, right? Establishment says, hey, if you don't have a college degree, you'll never make the big bucks. Well, what do we say? Without a formal education, you can earn over 6 figures in less than a full year in our field with little to no experience. Establishment says if you're a woman, you should make less money than a man. Well, what do we say? Money has no gender. Producers produce, let's get it. The establishment says if you're a minority, you can't be an executive, you can't own a big corporation, you can't be a leader, right? Well, what do we say? Hey, from day one, everyone has not just a shot, but a roadmap to get to the absolute top. Establishment says if you made a mistake in your life and your past ain't that great, it's not perfect, right? You don't have a shot. Well, we put you in company gear, give you training and resources so you can take it as far as absolutely possible. See, the reason a lot of you guys have tried to make a breakthrough financially, emotionally, in your relationships, and even physically and haven't, is because you aren't surrounded and involved in the right movement. You don't have the right people in your circle to help you. Yes, you can be successful as a broker, as a lone wolf, but together you can go so much further, faster, and easier. You got to get in the right movement. See, nowadays, the opportunity is everywhere. Everyone's selling solar, guys. Not everyone has a clear mission and a movement with a big enough purpose to get behind. Believe it or not, that's the secret. Nothing's wrong with you. You aren't bad at selling solar. You aren't lazy. You aren't tired. You aren't scared to make calls. You aren't scared to knock doors. You're just not in the right environment or behind the right movement. You don't have the right people around you. You haven't been equipped and prepared properly. And honestly, man, without that, I would want to quit too if I were you. Without that, I would also sit in my car and debate whether I was going to get out and actually knock today. If I were you, I'd also second guess dialing the phones today. But if you want to change in your life, something's got to change in your life. And we would love to have you be a part of our movement to make an impact on the planet. I don't care if you've ever sold a day in your life. I don't care if you've been in solar longer than me and you're leading a team at a company, but just aren't getting the tools you need from your current company. If that or anything in between sounds like you, man, come join our movement. How much longer are you going to keep doing the same thing and expect different results? Something's got to change today. Like Coach Prime said, I ain't hard to find. And by the way, the pay isn't just competitive over here. It's literally the best you'll find. See, we don't do red lines. We do profit sharing. Everything's transparent and you guys get top pay from day one. Biggest margins and a clear roadmap to the best play in our entire field. But don't take my word from it. Let's compare. See, the next 90 days can totally change your life and your family's life forever if you're willing to fight this summer. But who do you have fighting in your life right now? Who's fighting for you? Who's fighting with you? As you look to your left and to your right this summer, this Saturday while you're knocking, make sure you have the right people in your environment. And if you don't, you know what you need to do. You need to take action. Let's jump on a call so we can spread this movement to as many people as possible.